Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about two questions that have come in about the potential for a government shutdown, what it actually means, and the proposed Republican continuing resolution, which really doesn't seem like it matters at this point because it doesn't look like it's going through. But the question, it came in, and it's one of those that I think it's important because it's the kind of questions people should be asking when they hear certain kind of rhetoric. And I went back and looked. I never clarified it, so I'm assuming other people didn't either. Okay, so the first one is what's really going to happen? You said that the VA, Social Security, stuff like that, it was going to go ahead, so who's not getting their check? The people currently working for the federal government. A lot of them are going to have issues, particularly military service members. You'll have food safety inspection issues, probably have travel delays because of stuff related to that. There's a lot of federal jobs that will have people furloughed, which will cause issues. The lack of a check will cause wider issues as things move along. Let's look at it this way. Let's say you live in an area near any federal installation, any military base, okay? Just as an example, those service people not getting paid means they're not spending money in the local economy, which means less hours, which means more economic impact further down the line with people that don't have anything to do with the federal government. The economy, sections of the economy, it doesn't exist in a vacuum like that. Each thing impacts the next. Moving into the holiday season, that's going to be bad. It's going to have a lot of downstream effects. Now, the other question is, basically, I've heard commentators say that, the proposed Republican continuing resolution, their short-term budget, that it's just extreme, but nobody says what that means. Okay, short version, I want to say it's 8%. I think it's 8% cut, like top line. So, here are some numbers that reflect that 8%. 60,000 seniors, no Meals on Wheels. 2.1 million women, infants, and kids would be waitlisted for WIC. I think it goes without saying that when it comes to the case of infants, they don't have a lot of time to sit on a wait list. 40,000 fewer educators or people in school staffs that would be serving tens of millions of students. And I want to say the number was 7.5 million, I think, disabled students. The feds pay for a lot of that. If they're not there, it strains other resources as well. Looks like 300,000 people would lose housing vouchers. Okay, and the numbers were almost 100,000 of those are seniors, 20,000 are vets. This puts them closer to homelessness. More than 6 million people would be impacted by lower maximum payouts for Pell Grants. While there is one party that's trying to make higher education more affordable, the other party is trying to lower the amount of money that people who can qualify for Pell Grants can get. That's a pretty stark difference between the two parties right there. You're looking at, this is one that I would mention if somebody asks. You're going to lose roughly 800 Border Patrol people. That might be something worth bringing up. Few hundred rail inspectors. Looks like 35,000 slots for registered apprentices go away. And more than 100,000 kids would lose the access to the Head Start program. That's pretty significant, I would suggest. I would suggest that most of the United States, when it comes to this list, there's something on that list they don't want to give up. This is one of the issues. I actually agree on some level. The federal government spends too much money. Going through and doing a top-line approach and just saying we're going to cut this percentage, that's not really how to go about this. There probably needs to be some kind of prioritization as to where that money's coming from. I don't think it should come from the most vulnerable among us. I think it might be a better idea to go the other route with it. And maybe, those people who have companies that make $100 million, $1 billion a year that don't pay any taxes, maybe there's some money there that could be used. Just saying. Rather than, stuff leading to seniors not eating and people being thrown out in the street. Just seems like that might be a better idea. But the question itself, and there were a couple of them, apparently there were a whole lot of people talking about how extreme the cuts were, but nobody did any detail as far as what it did. And the weird thing is, there's actually a bunch of nonprofits, there's a bunch of different groups that actually went through and did a real quick, this is what it would do. And the information's out there, but you have to look for it. And that's the kind of context that, you need. Just because somebody says, well, it's an extreme budget, yeah, good call. Don't take their word for it. Get the actual information. So that's an overview of what they were looking for. Now, as it stands at time of filming, this doesn't actually look like it's going anywhere. But that's what they were looking at. That's what they were hoping to get. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.